test the volume. Okay, check, check, check.
Hi, Jamie.
Thank you.
So we're back.
Yes, we are back and got a lot planned. Be busy. Be busy editing videos for a while. Uh, but we had a pretty great time on the trip. It had its ups and downs. Uh, I think we'll actually start with the down. Get that out of the way first. If anyone watching this now or in the future would like to fly, and we've flown Avianca before.
That's when we first got here.
Yeah, and
I
that
can't see
first
that.
flight we
I
had with
need
them was
glasses.
it wasn't bad actually. It was pretty good, but that was like they were still kind of in their
It
COVID
was post
protocol,
COVID.
so it was like the middle seats were empty. So
It
yeah,
made it felt like it made the air plane feel bigger,
yeah,
and it was more comfortable. Well, we took. Let's just say this: Avianca was our flight back to Ecuador.
hmm,
It wasn't our flight out. And when I tell you, they packed us like sardines.
yeah, it was pretty packed in there.
They packed us like sardines.
The one from DC to Bogota was packed because Bogota to Guayaquil wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, Bogota. Yeah, it was horrible.
for multiple reasons. Because for whatever reason, Avianca seats are really close together. Like you don't really get leg room. If you're my height, you got to put your knees
You
around the
don't.
seat.
Okay, yeah, you may have to put your knees around the seats, but at the same time, I'm short, and I felt like the seat was in my lap.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and that wasn't the biggest issue.
the biggest issue was I've never gotten sick on a plane. Never ever. This time it got it was so many people on this plane, and the fact that there were a few people on the plane coughing, sneezing. So I'm wearing my mask, which made it more intense. The heat, and I would say about 50 minutes before we landed, this heat spell came over me. And oh, let me just say this: we were not seated together.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I forgot all about that.
We
She was
were
like
not
5 rows behind me.
we were not seated together, and that was my fault because I really didn't. Well, it really wasn't my fault. You booked,
Hey, she said it first, so it's her fault.
but anyway, it wasn't my fault for the selection and the seat. That was his part. But I usually go back and recheck, and this time I didn't check, and we had the most basic seats that I've ever been in because, like I said, I felt like the person in front of me was sitting on top of me, and then I had two people on each side of me, and it just felt like I was feeling claustrophobic, especially with the mask on. And I like I said, I've never gotten sick on the plane, and this time, yeah, I got sick on the plane, and they supposed to have these little barf bags. I had to take my neighbor's because I didn't have one. And then I couldn't open it.
Yeah,
And I had a neighbor over here beside me. She's
yeah.
trying to open hers and she couldn't open hers.
The bag
So
got a child lock on it, y'all.
it was a bad situation. It was a bad situation.
Yeah, I see her like going down the aisle. I'm just thinking she's going to the restroom. She's like, "Steve, come here." I was like, "What? What's going on?" And I'm sitting in the middle of two people, so yeah. But she ended up being, fine. No medical emergency or anything.
I'm glad. Yeah.
She just felt really bad. But That wasn't even the biggest problem I was referring to.
What was the
I'm
biggest
talking about those bags.
Oh, I didn't want to talk about the bags.
We're going to talk about the bags.
Okay, so our when we fly with bags, it's usually American Airlines or Delta. And we would check our bags. So depending on what your seat is, you get to have one bag and you have to pay for the next one. Well, Avianca was not aware that you needed to book or pay for your bags online.
Yeah.
I've gone to Delta, American Airlines, and like, hey, here's our bags. They wear them. We pay it right then. No problem.
It's usually a flat rate, like $50 or whatever. Because to explain real quick, when we went on our trip to Alaska and on the cruise, we only took carry-ons. We both had a backpack and one carry-on bag, and that lasted us for the whole week of the cruise. And we were gone like maybe 11 or 12
No, we
days.
weren't going that long. You mean just on the cruise it was like 7?
Yeah, I mean for the cruise and Anchorage.
Yeah, but you...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had those 2 bags apiece. When we went to the States, we brought 2 larger bags back with us. So we knew we were going to have to pay for those. So now you can continue.
Okay. Like I said, I normally book through American Airlines and Delta. Well, Avianca. I don't know if Avianca is worse than Spirit, or I've never been on Spirit, but I've heard how people talk about they have to pay for everything. Avianca is... What is it? It's like I felt like they were just a leech. Just the leech jumped on and we was like, okay, we got to pay for these bags, fine. But I wasn't aware that a freaking check bag for Avianca was going to be $120 per bag.
Now, if you pay online, when you book the ticket, it's $35. That's the part we missed. That's the part we goofed up on that. So it's not 100% blame on Avianca. But I think it's really dirty. It's really dirty that you get to the counter and they know you're gonna pay for the bag because you want your flight. What are you gonna do? Rebook it? No. You want your flight. So they know they got you. They got you by the balls. And you're gonna pay $120 for that bag, that check bag. But that wasn't the worst thing.
That was not the worst thing. So we fly.
I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. We paid the what?
Yeah,
$240.
just said that. We just paid it.
Hold on, I'm saying we paid $240 at one counter, thinking that we were good.
Steve, I got that.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so we paid for our check bag, and then we get to Bogota, and we leaving Bogota to come to Guayaquil. We are going through our group, get to the lady, hand her our ticket. She was like, I need you to go to the counter. I was like,
DC.
That was not DC.
It was, because we paid, when we went to the check-in desk, we paid for the check bags. When we got to get on the plane,
it was in Bogota.
It
was our last trip.
It could have been because she stamped the ticket for Bogota and Guayaquil. I remember that was in DC. Because the ticket didn't have carry-ons and check bags. So she stamped
the first ticket that she showed that I had, she striked through that first ticket from DC to Bogota. That's why it was no charge. When we got to Bogota, that second ticket had 0 carry-on.
No,
how do we pay for it?
Let me explain. Remember, because we told the lady, we're about to have an argument, y'all. Hold on. So remember we told the lady.
He's gonna be wrong.
No, hold on. Remember we told the lady at the check-in desk because she was kind of rude and she didn't tell us. Remember we were at the check-in desk before we went through security. We paid for our check bags. After we went through security and we had to go to where we were supposed to be getting on the plane, the lady she got the ticket and was like, no, you got to pay for these carry-ons. And we said, we said, why didn't the lady at the desk a little while ago just tell us this? She said, I don't know why she didn't tell you.
That was in Bogota.
It couldn't have been. We didn't have to do that in Bogota.
Yes, we did. Because we only had to carry on. The check bags were already sent from DC, sir. So when we got to Guayaquil, which is when I wasn't
Bogota.
Bogota, I wasn't feeling well. And we got up there in line, And she was like, no.
I'm going to have to verify this.
I don't know how you're going to verify it. But anyway, all in all, we spent $480 for for 2 check bags and a
2
carry-on.
carry-ons.
So,
yeah. I'm seeing a lot of passport bros overseas. Yeah, for like here where we are, we don't see a lot of passport bros. But I guess like if we were in maybe like Monto or Colombia, we would definitely see a lot in Colombia. I will say this: when we were in the airport in Bogota, there was definitely a whole bunch of them. Absolutely, we were on the plane with a couple of them. So yeah, they're around. They're around, but we don't see them a lot where we are here in Ecuador.
No, they don't come there. I mean, not many come to Ecuador.
Yeah, it's not as popping as Colombia. But yeah, warning to anyone who wants to fly Avianca: pay for your bags online because it goes from $35 to $120, which I think is kind of insane. Honestly, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so that was the most negative thing that happened on our trip, and that was on the way back. So I don't know if that really even counts. But let's talk about the cruise, because we've been on cruises before, but we had never been to on a cruise to Alaska. I used to live in Alaska back in the 80s, so I'd always wanted her to visit. So I was like, okay, well, let's do 2 things that we kind of want to do this year: a cruise and go to Alaska. So do them all at once. Hold on. Carry on, check back. Senior discount. Well, we don't quite qualify for the senior discount just yet. I can't wait because $279 sounds awesome. So a bunch of passport bros heading to Medellin. Yeah. That's the ticket right there. That's the ticket right there. When we were in DC flying to Colombia, that's where I saw quite a few. And like I said, in the airport, there was a few that were like leaving Bogota or leaving Colombia. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Let me get that. So we booked a cruise to Alaska from Vancouver. We kind of wish were able to get to Vancouver earlier than we did in the day to actually have a chance to see the city. But the way it was scheduled, we got there that night, and the cruise was the next day. So we didn't really get to see any of Vancouver, honestly. But the weather was great because leaving here, earlier this month, it was pretty doggone hot. It's supposed to be going into winter, but it hadn't started yet when we left. And we were hot every day. We'd pretty much been in summer for 2 years straight. So the weather in Vancouver was a welcome change. It was just nice and cool and sunny and perfecto.
Yes. Yeah, the weather in Vancouver was really nice. It was like a early spring. It wasn't too cold, and it was the sun was out, and it was just a beautiful day.
Yeah.
We met some other people that were leaving for the cruise because we booked a hotel near the tram station.
Yeah.
And so in that same hotel was a lot of people going on cruises. So, and we met a person there. She was going to Japan. She had been on the cruise we had been on, and she was telling us about it. Mm-hmm. And so her next trip was going to Japan, which was 22 days.
It was long. It was nearly a month. Yeah, it was her cruise nearly a month. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
We can't do it.
I can't do it.
On the 6th, I think by the 5th day, we were tired.
Yeah, that was like a week is pushing it. A week is pushing it.
Yeah. We said that the last time we booked the cruise.
And we still did it.
We still did it.
Yeah, but we don't learn.
Because the thing is, after sleeping, eating, walking the ship, doing some of the activities, by the 4th, 5th day, there's like, I've done this, So.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to get to that in a second, in particular. But like the hotel, we walked over to the tram station because it was kind of close by. It was a little confusing to kind of figure out how to get the tram ticket for whatever reason. We ended up not paying correctly and had to pay again when we got off the tram. But We finally made it to the ship
Port.
after we got a little lost a bit, but made it to the port. I'm pretty sure, people watching, like I said, watching this in the future, you've probably been on a cruise ship and done the check-in process at a cruise ship. But if you've been in like a big cruise terminal like Miami or Fort Lauderdale or whatever, there can be a lot of passengers in this cruise terminal all at once.
Yes.
Going to different boats.
Yeah, different cruise lines. And so
it was
it was very unorganized.
Yeah.
Very unorganized.
Yeah. Like the facility itself was nice, like their terminal or whatever, but it was like a madhouse because there were like 3 ships leaving at the same time.
I give you an example. You're coming down the escalator, and then they're stopping people who's getting off the escalator while the escalator is still going. Like the escalator is going to stop,
right?
While you are like, I'm standing here and I'm coming off the escalator. The people in front of me, they can't move, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? The escalator don't stop. It's not like
why would you stop someone at the bottom of the escalator to talk when there's people coming down?
And we're all just
getting jammed up.
And so, that's how crazy it was.
But as crazy as it was, it didn't take that long to get through the line. It was just maddening because you had to go, which I thought was kind of crazy. You had to go upstairs to do check-in, to do your check-in and you had to make sure you were in the right line for your ship.
Right. And then you go
Then you had to go
outside.
Get in the line, go outside to go downstairs to go through security to get on the ship.
Yes, and then no, you go through security, go back inside because we had to go back inside to go through security.
Yeah,
it was just a mess.
It was insane. And then we finally got on the boat. Like I said, we've done this before. We just don't remember it being this unorganized. We've done this like our 4th cruise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just don't remember it being this unorganized.
Well, we kind of space it out because this is what happened. We take a cruise and then we're like, I
don't want to do a cruise another 5 years. Like 3, 4. Because it was 5 years ago.
No, it was in 2012.
No, 21. Beginning of COVID.
Oh, yeah. But before
20.
then.
It was 20, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right at the beginning of 2020. Before then, it was 20. We was going to take 2019, but it got hurricane.
That storm came in. Yeah, that's why we ended up going in.
Yeah.
January of 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Because of the hurricane.
So yeah, it would have been we take between 4 to 7 years.
Maybe another 3-4 years before we take another cruise.
Ooh.
It's too much.
Too much. We just like to get there and then see the sights.
We're lame travelers, y'all.
I'm not lame. Maybe you're lame.
You never went on a cruise. I don't think I would enjoy being trapped with so many people. People be people in there. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this cruise, y'all, and what we were saying about.
Okay, before you go there,
go ahead.
Check out our new merch.
Oh yeah, we got some new shirts.
So, if you're interested,
there's more.
They're on our
merch store.
I
do have to check to make sure everything is posted up there like it should be.
Yes, and new tumblers. But back to the story.
All right. So let's give you an example. Like our last cruise went to like the Caribbean. It was in the Caribbean. That's the one that went to like
Turks and
Caicos and Dominican Republic. So after a few days, we get bored. Like there's only so much we haven't seen. So there's not much you can show me on a ship to keep me, excited. I can't go to but so many art auctions and stuff I ain't gonna pay for.
They have some comedy shows.
Yeah.
Some entertainment,
dancing,
singing, stuff, which is not bad.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna keep doing that every day. So and then if it's not something you're interested in doing, you're not gonna go.
Right. And that was a Carnival ship last time. And we were on Princess this time, but Princess is owned by Carnival, but they have totally different the vibe is different.
Okay, so we're going to Alaska, and it's cold. Not that many black people go to Alaska because we don't like cold. And on the Princess Cruise to Alaska, it's catered to a more older crowd.
Yeah.
And I think we were like...
we were severely skewing the average age of that boat. I'm not even exaggerating. I promise you that the average age on that ship had to be 70, and I'm really not exaggerating. Even when we went to the comedy show and the comedian was asking like people's ages by like decades, so it was like 50, like 60, and 70, like everybody. That was the boat, y'all. That was the boat. So you got to understand that all the entertainment on the ship is kind of catered to that. Like they know their audience. So it just wasn't much to do. Even the food court. Yo, if you've never been on a cruise ship.
Hold on. Yeah. If you've never been on a cruise ship, but if you've been on Carnival. Carnival is good and bad, pros and cons, because they can get a little ratchet sometimes on Carnival. However, Carnival serves hot meals 24/7. You can get a burger and fries. You can get pizza. So on Princess, just about everything shut down.
Now, I can't say it's all Princess cruises, but this particular one to Alaska, 10 o'clock, you couldn't get nothing.
You could go to the International Cafe. It was one place open 24/1. You can get coffee. You can get pastries and cold cut sandwiches.
Right.
I'm not a cold cut person.
I don't even eat processed meat.
So, to my surprise, when I'm getting up because I'm hungry, we want to go. We got the munchies. We want to go snack on something. To find the pizza place is closed, the burger place is closed, the ice cream shop is closed. Mm-hmm. The only thing is open is coffee. I'm not trying to stay awake. Insult to
injury, yo. You gotta go out to like the Lido deck. It is frigid out there. You talking about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night out in the ocean in Alaska. Not only are you hungry, you want something. Ooh, I want something hot. I want a piece of. I want a slice of pizza. Yeah, pepperonis. Yeah. You walk out there in the cold, and all the workers they got scullies on, jackets, cleaning up. Like, what? Hold on. Y'all gotta have one of these. One of these kitchens got to be open. You keep on walking into like the restaurant area, the what's it called? The buffet restaurant area.
That is shut down.
Both sides shut down. Dudes in there vacuuming the rug. Like, hold on, bro. It's only like 10:30. You trying to tell me there ain't no way to get a hot burger or a piece of pizza or something?
They didn't even have hot soup.
Yeah. Now, let me explain that. Like this made us so upset. Like it didn't ruin the trip or anything. It made us so upset that we went when we
got our first when we embarked on our first.
It was the second.
Stop. No, that was the first.
Kitchen Can. Yeah, it was Kitchen Can. Yeah.
Okay, so we get to Kitchen Can. Day 3. Yeah, day 3. Yeah. Because we had a sea day. We get to Kitchen Can on day 3. We are getting off the ship, walking. The first thing we see is a Walmart van that says free shuttle to Walmart.
2 of them joints.
3.
Oh, yeah, it was 3. Yeah, I got a picture of it.
Now, we said, nah, we come all the way to go to Walmart.
Right. Leave Ecuador, get on a boat, and go to Walmart.
No, so we walk around Kitchen Can, which only takes about 20 minutes. Okay, because he's cold. I'm not cold. That's the thing. It's really cold. I'm not cold. I'm walking around. I've taken off my jacket. And I'm like, okay. So we walk around Kitchen Can. It's pretty much like a U. And you come back. And we see this free shuttle for Walmart. And like,
yeah, we were at Kitchen Can for like, was that one of the ones that was all day? Juno was all day. Kitchen Can was like 2 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, 2 o'clock. Okay. So we had to be back on the ship at 1:30.
Yeah.
But anyway, we wind up going to Walmart.
Yep. Because the night before, that's when we were hungry and we didn't have nothing hot to eat.
We didn't have any snacks.
We didn't have any snacks.
So.
Because we weren't paying for that stuff. I don't want to sound like we cheap, y'all.
But the Princess Cruises hit you up for everything.
Yeah, they're like Avianca. You got to pay for everything.
Now, if you go to dinner on this cruise, and if you've never been cruising, let me just give you some advice. When they come and say, would you like something from the bar? And you say no, they walk away. They don't offer you tea, lemonade, water, orange juice.
They don't offer you nothing free.
Nothing.
Nothing. None of the stuff that actually is free, they're not gonna offer to you.
So you have to say, "Excuse me, I would like to have
Come back.
some lemonade, some tea, some juice." Because and then they looking at you funny like, we don't serve. I need some lemonade. But anyway, you get your lemonade. They have a great menu. The menu is great. You can order more than one main course, more than one appetizer. You know, you paid for it, so you can order it. Because sometimes what you're getting is not enough.
Yeah.
That you would need to order another course.
Most nights, most of those meals in the restaurants that you had to reserve, I ordered 2 main courses just because. I've already paid for it.
He was hungry.
It
ain't no just because. He was hungry. But the cruise itself was very nice. We had a nice size room. We didn't do a balcony this time because I'm not trying to be cold.
I was like, yeah, what's the point? What's the point?
So the interior, I've been in the interior on Carnival. We did interior. Yeah, we did an ocean view. Well, not seriously interior, but we've been on one. And I've been in one and it was quite small. But this room was very spacious for an interior. And it may have been where I selected. Because you can do, was it a port, aft, mid-aft?
Yeah, you get to pick whatever, depending on what you pay for.
And you just want to be careful because you don't want to be next to a laundry room. You don't want to be next to the elevator.
You don't want to be under the gym.
Under the gym. And you don't want to be in the front, very front, because you start to feel more waves and you can become...
but the Walmart story. I'm sorry. We got sidetracked.
I don't know what else about the Walmart
I was
story?
about to say something.
Oh.
We got some stuff that like we thought would be good on the cruise. So like I got like some noodles in the bowl, already come in the bowl. Ended up not even eating half the stuff, most of the stuff that we bought, like all the snacks and whatnot. What we ended up doing, I think, is like adjusting our schedule on the ship to coincide when stuff was open.
Yeah.
So like the night when we stayed up late, we were like, all right, well, ain't really no reason to stay up late no more. Ain't nothing to do. We not going to the club.
I don't even know. We don't even know what that club would have played.
It said like modern hits or whatever, but I couldn't even go in there. We couldn't even do it. We couldn't make ourselves do it.
He would have been in there doing a twist.
Yeah. So you know what? They had like a one show was like a Motown show, and that show was decent. I'm not gonna lie, that show was decent. But like the same crew, like the other show they did was the British Invasion. So it was like the Beatles and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to that show because that's just not us. It's not our stuff.
We went to the Motown.
Went to the Motown one. It was, like I said, I'm not going to talk about those actors and singers because some of them were pretty good.
But the fact that we went to a Motown. Now, this was during the time my mom...
The newest song that they played in that show
was what?
Was Whitney Houston. Was I Want to Dance with Somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was...
What's so crazy? I forgot she was on Motown when she came out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
That was the...
That was like that was the latest song that they played.
I think we heard Womack. What's his name?
Bobby Womack. No. Wait, they didn't do that. They didn't do it if you think you're lonely now.
Oh.
I might have got up and started singing then.
Well, we did hear "Cool in the Game," right? Was it Celebrate?
No.
You sure?
I sworn I don't think that was a Motown song.
Well, whatever.
Don't have me revoking my black card
Just know this. Just know this. It was in that era of when they were singing. So I can't. Yeah.
That was the crowd, y'all. So
and that was packed. It was packed in there.
What's honestly what kind of blows my mind is that like at my age now, I feel like the 80s was yesterday. I really feel like the 80s was yesterday.
Well, that must be.
It was like 40 years ago. Like that's.
I'm like, what?
Like think about how far back the 80s are from right now, and go back to the 80s and think about how far 40 years was before then. Like that's insane when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like you talking about World War II. So anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Some of the people on the boat were
yes.
around. I'm hot.
Ooh, sorry about that. Ooh, that was. Ooh, we going to hell for that one. Okay, let's stay on topic. Okay.
Oh no! Well, we would never knock Motown. Like I said,
No.
the show was kind of fire itself.
Yeah.
But
You had to be there. You had to be
you
there.
had to see it.
Yeah.
You had to see it.
Ooh.
Oh.
But.
Snack. All right, we got our snack. We didn't eat them. But what we ended up doing was just trying to enjoy the scenery, take a lot of pictures. I checked the camera when we got back, and we took like 750 photos on our camera, not including the phone and the GoPro or whatever. So that was like most of the time that we were outside on the boat, on the ship, we were just like snapping pictures because the way the cruise goes, it just hugs the coast of Alaska the whole time. So like there's almost no time where you don't see land and mountains. So like the scenery was incredible, and then getting like close-up views of the glaciers.
Oh.
Like I hadn't seen glaciers since the 80s when I left Alaska, 89. But yeah, like somebody who had never seen one, like it's hard to imagine like, what they think when they see something like that.
It was beautiful. I mean, just to see it up close, and also, when you see stuff on television, it's not the same when you're actually there, physically there, and to hear it when it's cracking, it sounds like thunder. That's how loud it is.
Yeah, they call it white thunder, and that's exactly what it sounds like.
It sounds like thunder.
So we witnessed a few of those. It's called calving, like a calf, like your foot, like your ankle, calve. Calving is when it breaks off and hits the water, and we saw that several times actually. Crazy thing is, it happened so fast, you can never get your camera up fast enough to...
No, he didn't get it. I have it.
I got half of one.
Well, I got a full one where it actually fell in the water. You can see the wave.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Because the ship does get pretty close to the glaciers. It's honestly insane how close they can get because those fjords and whatnot are so deep. They kind of get right up on them, especially the last one we went to in College Fjord. That one was huge, and like the glacier is taller than the ship, the front of it, and like they got really close to that and just kind of sat there, and then the boat did like this, so people on both sides could see without having to walk all around the ship like we did. But a few pieces of that broke off while we were there, and there's ice floating around, and there was like a sea otter swimming around with a baby on her chest. That was
really cool, and what's funny is that I wasn't really cold in Alaska, which is crazy. And when I get back to Ecuador, I'm like, I got goosebumps.
Because winter started while we were gone, y'all.
Yeah, so it's a little cooler back here. And he was always bundled. And I'm like, it's not that serious. It really isn't. You two are just.
I mean, it was chilly because, like I said, we came from summer, 2 years of summer.
I'm sorry, he's talking about chilly. He was like, my feet cold, my hand cold.
I didn't say my feet were cold. Stop.
Seriously, he was on the inside the ship. Watching me.
They had doors open everywhere. That wind was blowing all through the corridors and everything. There was no place safe except for inside your room.
I was walking around doing me some laps, and he was inside like this.
It wasn't like this.
You didn't go like this? Oh, you feel my hand?
I'm not even gonna like indulge her in what she just said. Let me. You know what?
Anyway,
let me change her mood. Let me tell you about the biggest disappointment on this cruise.
Oh.
And it had nothing to do with the...
Neither of us. Neither of us.
It had nothing to do with us, and I'm not going to blame the cruise line. I am going to blame the captain. So, as many of you may know, the Northern Lights went absolutely insane like a week and a half ago or whatever it was. where you can see it all throughout the United States and everywhere. So, excuse me, we were right up there when it was happening. Skies were totally clear. We would have seen it perfectly. It happened around 10:30 at night in Alaska time, between 10:30 and 1. And
10:30 and 2.
So, us, we ain't nothing to do. So we in the room. We in the room chilling. Now this captain would come over. He came over at 5 a.m. to tell us we weren't going to dock at Skagway because the wind was too strong.
Yeah.
And that was in the room. Ordinarily they would broadcast stuff on the PA and it would be in the hallway, so you could hear it, but it wouldn't be like loud. But he came over in the room to tell us about Skagway. So I'm like, what? We find out the next day because just listening to people, ear hustling, and people were like, yeah, did you see the lights last night? I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, it was magnificent. It was the greatest thing ever.
Not everybody. That's the thing. Not everybody. Some, like, other people were mad just like us because, there's nothing going on at 10 o'clock. So you're in your room watching a movie. And
a good movie selection.
And the captain did not make an announcement that, hey, once
in
a lifetime,
going crazy.
You may want to come check this out.
Nope. So we could have got the best. They said it was purple. It was insane. It doesn't get like that often. And it's perfect. It's going to happen tomorrow night too. But guess what tomorrow night was? It was cloudy. So anyway, they were like, if you had a cell phone, it took even better view of the aurora. Oh my goodness. We were so upset. If we had never heard anyone mention it, we would have been just fine.
Yeah. The fact that we was in the middle of the ocean.
In the perfect place to see it. Perfectly clear skies. Missed it. Totally missed it.
And to hear other people, say the same things that we were saying, like, why did he make this announcement? Like, why was this, my thing is, if I was asleep, hey, I know you may be sleeping, but once in a lifetime, you may want to go check out these lights. Let me make the decision. Like, forget those lights. No.
Right.
No. But anyway.
Nah. Aurora Borealis was having a party up there. So we did eat a lot of food on the ship, as you will do on a cruise ship.
It's too much.
We felt it. We did. I put on like 8 or 9 pounds while we were gone, which is kind of insane when you think. Well, we only gone like 2.5 weeks.
So y'all know he was eating those 2 meals, those two main courses. That's why.
I was killing him. Honestly, like the last 2 days, I slowed down a little bit.
He was like, "Nah, I don't want."
I'm full. I can't do this. I ain't been working out. Like they had a nice gym. I only went there once because of like how our schedule was.
Yeah.
Like I only got a chance to go there once.
But he could have walked around the ship. Like he could have walked, but it
was too cold to be on. I said they got all the doors and windows open on that ship.
I got up like at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I go up deck on the Lido deck and I'm like, ooh, have my cup of coffee. He's in the room sleep, and I'm like, yes, it's so nice. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, until she get hot.
That's why it was beautiful.
No, I'm just saying it was beautiful. Yeah, until we come inside to do anything, and then you get hot.
Yeah, on the inside, I'm like, look, I needed some air. We need to go outside. However, the food was amazing. They had a smorgasbord of different things in the Horizon Court.
Yeah, that was just in like a little food court area. They were pretty decent. Now
let's talk about this ice cream shop. You have a whole menu on the wall and says, we made frappes. And if you want to add a shot of something to it, just pay a little extra.
Yeah.
So I go over there. I would like a frappe with a little shot of something extra. Oh, we don't make those over here.
Why is the sign here?
Oh, no. We ain't gonna talk because he doesn't say anything. This is me.
I wasn't gonna be mad. It was too cold to be messing around with ice cream
this is
anyway.
The thing. This is like it's never too cold to point out why in the hell you got this up here on your menu and then you tell me you don't make them.
You had to go down to like that was deck 14. We had to go down like deck 6 or something.
I don't know where we got it. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah.
Like what? Why is this here?
Okay, so we do have some like all you can eat food court. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, only until 10 o'clock on that particular boat.
Oh yeah.
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 Cause they close it. They close.
So
at
they
10.
open at 5:30. At 5:30 to 6:30, you get a what's the not
Continental breakfast.
continental breakfast.
Oh, I don't even think they wait. I don't think they closed at 10. I think they closed before 10. There was the other little spot outside there that was open till 10.
I don't know, but I know from 5:30 to 6:30 you get a continental breakfast, and then from 6:30 to 11:30 you get breakfast, and then they switch over from I think 11:30 to 5. I think about 5 or 4 you get lunch, and then they change, and they have dinner. We never went over there for dinner, did we? Oh, that was the last night.
That last night we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we couldn't get the reservation that we wanted.
Okay, so
We sound like we got a whole lot of problems with this cruise. It wasn't that bad, y'all. I promise you. Well, in a week, you can pick out some things.
they have this restaurant called the Crab Shack. The Crab Shack does not. Oh, so Dennis, you said PM or AM? It's open from 5:30 AM until 9:45 PM.
Something like that. Whatever.
So you have different, like you have all your breakfast, your lunch, and then your dinner. But
You just ain't getting nothing after 10 o'clock.
shut down at 10 o'clock at night. But anyway, so Crab Shack. We were going to eat Crab Shack because we had ate at all the other main restaurants. Crab Shack does not show. Okay, so you get the app. You get the app on your phone. It shows you the activities, when your dining time is. If you want to message your shipmate, whoever you came with, or some other people, and let them know where you are. You can locate them with this app. But what you cannot do is freaking make reservation to the Crab Shack.
Yeah.
You have to go to the Crab Shack, look at their menu, read the small print that says to reserve, you need to call between 8 o'clock a.m. to 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. And you got to call this number from your room.
Now, this is after you've walked to this, you found this restaurant, because remember, this cruise ship is pretty big, and finding things can be confusing, even if you think you know where they are. You find a restaurant, you go thinking that, like, okay, I'm gonna look at the menu, make a reservation, do whatever, and there's a sign at the door that says, "Oh, go call between these times." So, like, I went right, over by the elevators and used a little public phone and called them, and they were like, "Oh, it's booked up." Okay, all right, whatever.
But just the fact that you have this app and you cannot reserve these specialty restaurants.
Right. The other ones are fine, you can reserve, but yeah.
Now.
And there's an extra charge for the specialty ones. So, like, Crab Shack was like, what, $35 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Per person. So, I mean, it would have been worth it.
Yeah.
But,
and I saw your question, B, about the king crab. We're going to get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a little bit.
So, anyway, there were some ups and downs. There's some pros and cons when it comes to cruising on Princess Cruises. You have the app, you have everything, the television. Like you said, they had great movies that you can watch.
Yeah, good selection.
They tell you a lot of stuff that's going on. Another con. So you have all these shops, these beautiful shops, and you know how sometimes they have these little specialties that they have between the shops where you can buy t-shirts, jackets, purses, any little knickknacks that you want to get for a special price. So they had 2 t-shirts for $25. I said, okay, let me go up there and let's see what type of shirts they have. When I get there, I see my fellow shipmates up there complaining. And I was like, what are they complaining about? And people showing the app and showing the paper. This says 2 for $25. Where are the 2 for $25 t-shirts? Ma'am, I'm sorry, but that's incorrect. They're $35.
Gotcha. Got him.
Now,
of course, there was a bunch of women down there, like, all on their phone, like, this ain't right.
And you know how we get. And if you're elderly, it's even worse, because now they're like, oh, I'm not paying that. I wasn't paying it either, because And not only that, they didn't correct it. They kept advertising the same thing as if it was 2 for $25, and it wasn't. Now, what else did they have? They had quite a few things that was false advertisement. And I guess, some people just went ahead and paid for it. Others was like, I'm not doing that. And it kind of put a bad taste in a few people's mouths, because it's like, you know what you're doing. You put this leaflet under my door that says you're offering these t-shirts or these jackets and whatnot for a certain price, and then when people get there, you say, oh, it's wrong. That wasn't cool. Now, when we get to Juno, because when I left Kitchen Can with the Walmart and all of that, now we headed to Juno. Yeah. Getting off at Juno, there is a place called Tracy's King Crab. Was it Tracy's?
Tracy's, yeah.
She specialized in Juno for their king crabs. It first started off in a little tent, and it has grown over the years. Now she has a big shop or store or restaurant right there at the port where all the ships get off. So, B, to your question, I did not get king crab in Juno because there was a line from 8 o'clock until 5:30 that evening.
Yeah. And we were in Juno from early in the morning until like 8 p.m. So I think everybody had to be back on the ship at like 7:30 or something like that.
And so I wasn't going to risk trying to get some king crabs. But I do, video will be shown or up showing their process.
Yeah. Yeah, so that video will be
sometime next week.
Yeah. I got stuff going on in my head, y'all.
So we leave Juno.
Well, Juno, we were there for
Juno.
All day, and
we did some
sight
season. Good gracious, sightseeing and some short excursions.
You got Old Bay on your mind.
But anyway.
So we went to like Salmon Bake, but the highlight of Juno honestly was the trail, the Mendenhall Glacier, and the waterfall. That was legitimately awesome.
Absolutely magnificent.
Yeah.
It was breathtaking. When I tell you, that waterfall was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and so that day it was like, it wasn't totally sunny, but it was like a little cloudy.
It was probably like 78 or something like that.
No, it felt like that to you. It definitely wasn't. So the sun was kind of peeking.
It was
peeking and out.
Beautiful.
We were walking this trail, and they got this sign up there that says like, hey, share this trail with bears. Basically, there's bears out here.
I didn't see that sign.
It was not long.
It was a long walk.
It was a pretty long walk.
It was a long walk, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, you get a great view of the glacier.
The water.
The water's so crystal clear, and then you're right next to the waterfall.
You just want to drink it.
Yeah, and there's like this waterfall, cold mist flying everywhere. So here's the thing, she wasn't the only person that had her jacket off.
I would have been over there under the waterfall along with other people.
There were people out there, dudes, that had like, they took their shirt completely off, and they're like taking pictures out there, getting misted.
People was in the water.
People were putting their feet in the water. I was like, oh man, I knew. I'm trying to get back to the boat.
Yeah, see, I know how he is, because I would have been right there with them, like in it, like, it's so great.
Nah, negative. But we did get we got a lot of good pictures of it. That'll be in the Juno video.
So then after Juno, we were supposed to go to Skagway. Unfortunately, the wind was too strong, so we had to miss that port. And that is when the captain came on at 5 o'clock in the morning to tell us that we were not going to Skagway. So we wind up going to Haynes. Haynes is about that big.
That big. One horse town, as they say.
They had a school bus that can take you around and bring you back.
Yeah, it had the nerve, y'all. It had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to have a tour guide on this bus. This dude, he was from Colorado. He was like a ski something or other patroller.
He comes up.
He comes and goes from Colorado to Alaska, back and forth. They had the nerve to pay this man actual human money to be a tour guide in this town.
That took all of probably 10 minutes.
Maybe tour the whole town. Like
depending on how fast he was driving. So, you know.
And he wasn't even driving. That's what's
they
crazy.
They didn't have any red lights, did they?
I don't remember.
No, they had one.
Maybe.
It was like Mayberry.
Yeah, it was like Mayberry. But yeah, he wasn't even driving. That's what's even more insane. He was standing up. The driver was driving. Anyway, quaint little town. The scenery around it is magnificent. It was beautiful. We were kind of disappointed we didn't get to go to Skagway. However, because we are, frugal, we did not pay for the internet package on the ship. If you've never been on a cruise ship, you got to pay for internet. It's expensive.
First of all.
She got something to say.
First of all, when we started cruising, internet was not an option.
Yeah.
It was meant to go on a cruise to disconnect. And I love the fact that I can disconnect. I don't need to talk to anyone, tell anyone what I'm doing, whatever. I'm on a cruise. I'll see you when I get back. Unfortunately, that's not how he feels. Because I'm like, see you when I see you. However, Haynes had a library. And of course, with libraries, you get free Wi-Fi. And of course, he needed to go to the library.
We had nothing else to do. First of all, she said, I need to go. It was her idea to go to the library.
Because I know he wanted he needed Wi-Fi. So
yeah, I had to keep up. Like, the NBA playoffs was happening. Like, come on now.
Oh, my God.
I didn't see none of that on the ship. So
you weren't going to see it. Anyway,
we spent an hour in the library because we were going to be in Haynes for a little while. Spent an hour in the library.
Yeah, he was on his phone. I was over there reading a book.
Yeah.
And it just so happened when we left, the little school bus was the tour guide was coming back to pick us up.
School bus. Somebody on the bus had the nerve to ask, like, well, can we drive around and see where people live? Like, lady. And the guy was like he was shocked that she said that. He was like, nah, I'm sorry, I don't think we can. She said, why not? What? Where do you live that you want tour buses coming up and down your street?
Hey.
School, not a van. This is a green school. What color? Whatever color it was.
Know.
It wasn't yellow. A school bus. Not even a new school bus that run on like natural gas or nothing like that. It was billowing diesel smoke. Like,
anyway,
she want to go down people's streets.
Yes, we couldn't do that, so we had to exit the bus. So, because that was the last stop.
Please get off this bus.
We did meet a lady. She had been to Quito and Cuenca, which.
Oh yeah. When we were getting off that was the same bus.
Yeah, when we were getting off the bus. Now I will say this. In the state of Alaska has a whole lot of weed dispensaries.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
That town didn't even have a pharmacy.
And they
had a weed
dispensary. They was like, we ain't got a pharmacy, but we got a weed dispensary.
Everybody had to come and get. They were like, yeah, this is where we get our medicine, y'all.
You got to worry about being addicted to the little prescription pills.
Other stuff, yeah. Everyone had to come to the post office to get their mail. That's how small this town was.
And the mailman don't deliver.
Right. You had to put like general delivery on your packages or whatever.
And then they go up there and you show your ID and then they
give you your mail.
Come on now.
And they had the nerve to have a weed dispensary up there.
Got what you need.
I got what you need, home.
Okay, we're going to move on. So we leave, hey, and this is when we get to the glacier.
Haynes, that's when we went to Glacier Bay, yeah.
Yeah, Glacier Bay. This is when he was really cold.
It was cold. It wasn't sunny when we were in Glacier Bay.
But it felt
good to her.
I'm sorry. I'm going through the change. But anyway. Go through Glacier Bay. We have another sea night. So when we leave Haynes and we're going to Glacier Bay, this is when we had a lot of, what do you call it?
Yeah, it was a lot of sea turbulence. It was a lot of waves.
Choppy water.
The
water was very choppy. And he was looking very...
I was feeling a little green, y'all. I took a Dramamine, but I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to stay in this room for a while. That's right. You don't need to ask when you ain't feeling nothing.
It's like, hey.
I was surprised I didn't see a liquor store, honestly.
Yeah, we didn't see.
Yeah, didn't see a liquor store.
It's like, hey, they don't want any drunk driving.
I
mean, you can't go far anyway. You can walk to wherever you want to go anyway.
You was gonna hit a moose.
So we had choppy water. He was looking green, and then we had formal night. That formal night was rough.
Did we even do?
No, we did not. Yes, we did. We dressed up, we ate, and we went back to room and took our clothes off because you were like, and I was like,
oh yeah, I forgot.
I don't know if this is gonna work.
Yeah, like I didn't like getting through dinner that night. That was rough. Right? Because it was just like
the waiters.
You bring it.
We try to walk down the hallway and
bumping both sides of the hall. Like, jeez, I just want to lay down.
Oh my God.
I just want to lay flat somewhere.
Let me tell you, the water was so choppy. When I woke up, I was still doing this, and I was like, "Is he?"
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was like,
you woke up to use the bathroom, and you're like, "No, we still sitting." Like, no, we are sitting still. We are currently sitting still.
It was so bad. Okay. Woo. This is much. Okay, what we had to now?
We went from Glacier Bay to College Ford. Now, College Ford was nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Actually, Glacier Bay was smooth. It was when we were going from Glacier Bay to College Ford that it was...
It was 2 times.
Yeah. But College Fjord, I'm sorry. Yeah, College Fjord. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
Because there's a whole bunch of...
glaciers.
There were several glaciers. Yeah, it's kind of like Glacier Bay. And like it ends at the one we were talking about. That was... Harvard Glacier. I'm surprised I remember that.
Then we see Martha. Is Marjorie or Martha? The first one. Because he took us further.
Martha? What are you talking about?
I said Martha.
Godzilla? Like, Martha?
You King Kong out there? Oh, okay. You need to stop. Anyway, one of them was named...
what up, Toast?
My goodness.
Well, Harvard was the big one that we stopped at. It was called Harvard. I remember that.
Okay.
I got the video and the announcer was talking about it.
Okay. Oh, you're terrible. Oh. Woo, you could have brought it back.
Yeah.
Oh. So.
There's only water in this mug.
Yeah.
There's only water.
And this is tea. Regular tea. But anyway, we leave College Fjord and then we're headed for Whittier. Whittier
is a small town near Anchorage. So
this is where we're in disembarking.
Right. This is our last stop.
Yeah.
So if you don't know about Whittier, it's not made up. If you hear about this town where everybody lives in the same building.
Yeah.
There's 200 and I think she said it was 270 something people and like 250 of them live in this one apartment building. And you can see it from the ship. So it's kind of weird. Like they have a cruise terminal there, but it's for reasons because that's where you get off to go to Anchorage. That was it an hour and 10 minute drive from Whittier to Anchorage. And the only way into Whittier is through this mountain, through this tunnel that has train tracks in it also. So they have like a system on both sides that only allows the train through, and you can only come into the town at a certain time. You can only leave at certain times. So you got to wait in line to get in or out of that little town.
Yeah.
So that was a little scenic ride. You ride past Portage Glacier. I remember seeing Portage Glacier when I was young in Anchorage. I used to live in Anchorage, and you used to be able to actually like see the glacier kind of like far up. Now it's like way back there now.
Yeah.
So it looks totally different. But yeah, that was when we got off the cruise, and we were actually by this time we were like, okay, we're ready to be off this cruise.
Yeah. It was a bit much. And we headed to Anchorage.
And we had booked 3 days to stay.
And Anchorage was amazing.
Yeah.
It really was. He took me where he grew up. I saw the neighborhood where he stayed, and we went up to
Talkeetna. But first we went to Matanuska Glacier.
Okay.
That's where You tell them about the trail?
You tell them about the trail.
Okay. So we get to Google this place, Matanuska Glacier. It's 2 hours from Anchorage, and there's like a viewing area, like a state park up there near it, where you can just see the whole glacier, see this whole valley. It's magnificent, honestly. And they have like a place for like campers and stuff, and a place where you can park. And there's like a walking trail, right? So as soon as we get out of our car, we had rented a car. So as soon as we get out of our car, and I step out like I'm maybe 10 feet from the car, I'm like, okay, there's a whole bunch of moose nuggets out here. So like I know there's moose walking around, and they look fresh, all right. And there was like another set of like smaller moose turds. Okay, well, it's a mom and a calf walking around here somewhere. So we get our view of the glacier. We're taking pictures. Trying to be cute, whatever. And so another couple pulls up.
No. Let's start. You asked the question before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So I asked her, do you want to walk this trail? And she's like, okay. I said, yeah, there's just, moose nuggets. And by then I'd seen a whole bunch more moose turds all over the place, right? I said, I'm not really worried about the moose. You're going to see them. We can get away, whatever. There's a whole bunch of trees out here. I'm only worried about a bear. Sean did a mean U-turn. Started walking back towards the car. I said, hold on. You sure, Steve? I was good until you said something about bear.
Let me tell you, if y'all haven't seen this TikTok video where the guy was walking in the woods, this lady was behind him, they walk on the trail, and she was like, yay, we're walking on the trail. And he was like, what is that? And all you hear her feet going, she was running. And he looked around. He was like, "She don't." Yeah, that would be me.
You did that to me one time.
Sure did when he saw a snake.
Yeah, I saw a snake in Virginia and walking on the trail.
When he looked around,
Sandy Bottom. Yeah.
All he saw was my back.
Yeah, she was gone. I said, "Yo, you could have walked onto an NFL team like the way you took off."
Anyway,
it was a little snake like this, like
he said snake. I didn't ask how long it was.
But anyway, so she said no, and as we're walking back towards the car, I'm like, okay, well, we've got enough footage and whatnot.
Yep.
So we're walking back towards the car, and I forgot to say that on the drive up there was also gorgeous. We stopped a couple times just to take pictures of like the scenery. It was incredible. It was incredible. And is that where you saw?
No,
was net later. Okay. So we're walking back towards the car, and there's another couple. They pull up, and they get out. Getting out of the car, and they're talking to us. They were from Australia. They were Sri Lankan, but they lived in Australia. And they were like, "So what are you guys doing?" And we're leaving.
We're leaving.
And they said, "Well, let's walk the trail." And I said, I said, "Well, we were, but she was like, I'm worried about the bears." They said, "No, don't worry about it. Come on, walk with us." And there was also another couple that was coming. That they were all friends.
Yeah.
All right. This couple, they were also Sri Lankan, but they lived in Canada. So we all 6 of us. I guess LaShawn got a little more confidence.
Yeah, it was more of us.
There's more people. So
I felt comfortable,
instead of it being a 50-50 chance that a bear attacks her, it was like 1 in 6. You know what I mean? You're doing the math.
Doing the math.
Yeah. So
but,
my odds are better right now.
Yeah, my odds are better because,
feel good in the casino right now.
If the bear attacks him, he got the keys.
That bear ain't gonna attack. I'm gonna attack the bear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But we went on the trail, and there was different lookouts where you could see the glacier, and
it was a 1 mile loop.
It was very nice, and so we came back, and that was a pretty nice ride. Like it was an hour or so up to the glacier, and then an hour back. And
it was 2. Back. It was 2 there and 2 back. It was 90 miles.
And it was great.
Yeah. So
now we headed back. We're hungry. I'm ready for my king crab. So, the one restaurant we chose, I think everybody in Alaska chose.
Everybody in Anchorage was going to that place and saying it was like a Wednesday too. Yeah.
And for whatever reason, people in Anchorage, go out to eat every day. It doesn't have to be a Friday. or Thursday.
That place was jumping on a Wednesday.
The place was jumping on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No matter what time. If it's breakfast, it's breakfast. But anyway, we go there. Our business was celebrating something. They had booked the entire restaurant out, the bottom floor. Mm-hmm. You can eat out on the patio or upstairs, or you can wait an hour and 15 minutes to get your food, to be seated.
So
we waited.
We waited because like we were hungry and weren't going anywhere else. We didn't have a plan, and
there was nothing else to do.
Yeah, so we got a drink, which happened to be the best idea, honestly, because that was the Seward's Folly beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 12% alcohol. It was incredible. So we went upstairs to stand up.
Exactly,
We went upstairs to like the upper bar area that they hadn't opened yet because like it was still early in the season, so they hadn't opened the area yet. But you could go sit up there, and the sun was out, and this was like 6 o'clock in the evening by now. I think it was around 6.
Yeah. It was about 6.
So great scenery, felt great out there, and we were drinking that beer that was super strong, and we started to feel it a little bit. And my phone buzzes because they sent me a text like, "Oh, our table's ready." After it was only like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You only wait like 30 minutes, and we went inside, and LaShawn got to finally order some king crab legs.
Thank you, B. I sure did.
Now, I don't think she didn't mention how much they were at the other place in Juneau, but they were like less. They were significantly less.
A lot cheaper than they were in Anchorage.
Yeah. But I do have a video that'll come out in a couple weeks. But she got a chance to really enjoy those king crab legs.
Yeah. Don't have to be faster than a bear. Just be faster than one person in the group. Exactly. So the king crab, had never had it before we got to Anchorage, was well deserving. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, she had never had it before.
Oh my God!
You know, we've had snow crabs. I've had king crab 4 years ago, but
buttery, sweet, not too sweet, but just the right amount of seasoning that they put in, because it wasn't covered. Like I've had snow crabs where they covered with Old Bay seasoning. No, there was no seasoning on this king crab. Didn't matter because it was magnificent.
It was just 2 big old legs on a plate.
So freaking good. And trust me, 2 legs is enough. It was a full meal. I did have mashed potatoes and vegetables. I ate everything.
I just had a big old steak and something else, but that steak was good too. 49th State Brew House is the name of the place if you want to look it up. 49th State Brew House.
Very good.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can order some of that Seward's Folly beer and have it sent to you. Oh my goodness, please do.
Yes.
We bought some more at their gift shop because it was for whatever reason it's always not as good as it is when you have it in the restaurant.
Yeah,
like, it was still good. It was still good
when it's on tap. It's much better.
It was still good, but yeah, it's better when it's on tap.
And so we leave there, and then the next day we head up to
Talkeetna because we want to see Mount Denali, but I didn't want to drive the 4 hours to like Denali Park. And then they said it's harder to actually get pictures of the mountain when you're that close because it's so big. So Talkeetna is 2 hours, but it has a great view of Denali if the weather is cooperating.
And on that day, we had some clouds.
Yeah, so like Denali was just like the top of it was covered, so I couldn't get a really good picture of Denali, which kind of it bummed me out a little bit. But they had like a lot of like little gift shops and stuff in Talkeetna. This is a really small town. But it's really, I don't know, if you go there, it's like it is a place to see, I think. Like ice cream shops and restaurants gift shops.
Yeah, they had like a beach store.
We bought a few souvenirs from there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I left them in another room. I got my favorite little souvenir that I bought. They sold like the little beer koozies, and they had different ones. So they had like a NASA spacesuit beer koozie. It was $40. That's the only reason I didn't get that one. But I got one that's like a lumberjack jacket. It zips up and down. Right? It's got little arms like in his jacket pocket like this. So I named him Small Bunyan. All right, because it totally fits. I think LaShawn's gonna go get him right now. It's one of the best things I ever bought. So anyway, like Talkeetna is like this small town, really cool. Check it out if you go to Alaska. The weather's great. It is a perfect place to see Mount Denali. It's awesome, and it's right by like this river. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
This
Look at
is
my
it.
koozie, y'all. Look at my koozie.
Does it angle up?
There we go.
So this is it.
Check him out. Small bunion.
Anyway, what happened after that?
Oh, well, drove back. That's Talkeetna. When we drove to Talkeetna, that's when you saw the moose.
Yeah, I had never seen a moose before, and then I saw several coming back
Yeah.
that were grazing along the highway.
Yeah, she was able to snap a couple pictures while we were driving. I would have slowed down. We were like on a highway, so. But
He would have slowed down anyway.
I probably wouldn't have. I've seen plenty of moose. But anyway, that was the last day. Was that the last day?
No.
Or was it the next day?
Next day.
Next day. We didn't really do anything.
No, because it was, preparing yourself for the, to leave and whatnot. And we did go to the mall. We went, walked around downtown.
Oh.
And we,
Ice cream.
I'm going to get there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We decided to stop at Wild Scoops. That I hadn't had ice cream almost 2 years.
You didn't have good ice. Well, no, you had some when we went back to the States. And in Italy.
Okay. So Ecuador really doesn't have.
It does, but we just haven't bought it. We haven't found it. We haven't found really good ice cream here. So I don't want to make a blanket statement that Ecuador.
Well, go ahead and tell the story.
Cream.
Go ahead and tell the story.
I don't want to say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and tell your story.
Tell your story.
But anyway, Wild Scoops. I saw it online. I saw it on something. But no, I'm sorry. A friend of mine told me about Wild Scoops, and then I looked it up. So, Rico, thanks. But went to Wild Scoops. Got some. I got the blueberry something or other. You got, what was it?
Sitka caramel.
Sitka caramel. Yeah, it was excellent. And that was the day that we got to Anchorage, I think.
Yeah, we got there and we got it on the last day.
Yeah, so we went there twice. That place was great. It's a small little shop in downtown Anchorage.
It doesn't have a seating, like you can't sit inside.
No.
It's a walk
Take
by.
your ice cream and get up out of here.
It's a walk by.
Yeah.
Not a drive by, but a walk by.
Yeah, that place is great. And then we went to what was the waffle place called?
Something
Waffles and Whatnot.
Yeah.
Waffles and Whatnot in Anchorage. So that place is different. It was featured on like diners, drive-ins, and dives. When you walk in, they tell you don't have to do this, but when you walk in, they tell you if it's your first time, they're going to order for you. And if you don't, you take 2 bites. If you don't like it, you can send it back. Even though the 2-bite thing doesn't really make a lot of sense because there's so much stuff on your plate. Like you can't take 2 bites of something and like you need 12 bites to figure out if you actually like it.
Not for everybody.
Right.
Some people.
But I mean, my waffle and stuff was pretty good.
I'm not a waffle person, so it wasn't bad, but I'm not a waffle person. I could have just had the little top of tummy that I was originally going to get when I got there. That means half a waffle and 1 chicken tender. Now their chicken tenders are on point.
Yeah.
They're seasoned perfectly. They're very crispy and juicy on the inside. So, yeah.
Waffles and Whatnot. If you're in Anchorage, Waffles and Whatnot. And Wild Scoops. And 49th State Brew House. And
everything that we ate.
Right. And what was the other place we went to that was crowded?
Oh, what was that?
Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh.
Because we had pizza. We had a big old pizza.
Was it Moose? It was, what was it called?
Got me.
Hold
I don't
on.
even know if we got a picture of that one.
Yeah, you took a picture of me because I was sitting behind it and it looked like the pizza was bigger than I was.
Well, I haven't gotten down that far in the photos. yet to figure out where that was.
Hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. Go ahead, keep talking.
Anyway, we ate a lot. That's how I gained like 9 pounds while we were gone, because all we did was eat. That was the best thing you do. When it's cold, you just want to stay warm, so you just keep eating. Even the Moose Tooth. Okay.
I told you had
some.
Even
the hotel we stayed at pretty decent food.
Moose Tooth, pub and pizzeria.
Yeah, that was good. Service was good.
Oh, and okay, so just know I'm a stout person. They had what was it, Durian? Hold on. I'll tell you in a minute.
That beer was good too.
That beer was good too.
Sound like we drink a lot of beer?
Because we did.
We love a really strong stout beer. Like if it's got 10% or more, we're gonna try it.
It is not 10% or more. It can be 8, 7. He tripping.
Yeah, but ain't no 10s on the menu. I forgot what kind of pizza we had. It was mushroom and pepperoni.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
Which I wish I had just gotten totally pepperoni.
Yeah. Well, that pizza was good.
But it was good.
Because it was like a thin. Okay, so ordinarily, like LaShawn doesn't eat a ton, especially like pizza. And she knows, like, if you give me a large pizza, like, I'm going to eat half of it.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Tell this story, because you tripping.
So this pizza was, like, so good, and, like, I guess...
No. Let's go back. He originally wanted his own personal pizza, which is, it was a small.
Yeah. And
then I was going to get a small. So with both of us, 2 smalls was going to be about $40. And then I was like, pay $40 for 2 small pizzas. And I said, just get a large, an 18-inch large. He was like, I said, you eat a whole medium by yourself. You talking about this?
Was it 18? I thought it was like 20 something.
It was an 18-inch pizza, sir.
Okay.
And he was, and I don't like thick crust. I like thin crust. Tastes better. Just me. And he was tripping, talking about it's not going to be enough.
I wasn't. I was like, it'll be good. It was enough. But
did you say it was enough?
She demolished her half. You did.
You about to make me curse. But anyway.
You did.
The beer is called Darth Delirium.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Darth Delirium 2023. Very good.
Yeah. So if you happen to be in that area,
go to Moose Tooth, 49th State Brewery. Waffles and Whatnot.
And
Wild
Scoops. Now, Wild Scoops, I wanted to get the spruce tip ice cream, but it's seasonal, and they weren't going to have it until like June. July, yeah. That's what I really wanted.
And then there was a pho place we went to.
Yeah, when we first got there.
It was Lena something? Lena?
I can't remember what.
Lena, something like that.
We waited like 40 minutes to get some pho.
Well, they definitely mean they were cooking it. Yeah. So we used to that. But yes, there was a lot of places we did not get to try in Anchorage, but it was very, very good.
Sound like you enjoyed yourself. We were on Princess. Yeah, we were on Princess. We didn't realize that Carnival also sailed up there. Their route is a little different.
Yeah.
But I know we all stopped in Juneau.
Yeah, so you had Holland America, Princess Cruise Line, Norwegian. I didn't see Royal Caribbean, and of course the Princess. And was it someone else? It was about four.
I think that might have been.
It was about 4 cruise lines there.
Because we were on the Grand Princess.
Yeah.
And they rotate these ships for like different areas.
Yeah, so some ships cannot go to see the College Fjord.
Yeah, and like
they're not. They don't have an agreement with the.
Yeah, it's something they explained it. We weren't paying attention to all that. We were just trying to like see the scenery and whatnot. But yeah, like our ship was a Grand Princess. So like 2 years ago, they said that ship was in the Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? So like they move them around and everything. But it was. I don't know if you missed any of this, Julie. But what we were saying is that it was a very nice cruise, although it was catered to a crowd older than us. That is the nicest way I can put it.
It wasn't bad.
It definitely wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't.
We did enjoy ourselves. The food was great. The atmosphere was great. And it was a great scenic route that we were on, and we did have a lot of cons on there that we try to make it sound like it was.
Yeah, probably you listen to us, you might think we had a bad time. We didn't.
But we didn't.
We really didn't. It was just like, close these doors. Like, why y'all got these sliding doors and they always open? The whole hallway's cold.
He was just cold. That was just him.
Seriously, I spent like a week with my zip-up hoodie sweater on.
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever took it off.
I mean, unless I got in the bed, but yeah. But even laying on top of the bed watching TV, I'm like this. With this sweater on.
And had the hood on.
No,
it wasn't even cold. It wasn't even cold in the room.
I didn't have the hood on.
I couldn't even get the air down far enough. It stopped like the little what was that hand? I'm out there doing this, and it just stopped. And I'm like,
it won't go any further, ma'am.
I was mad.
I know we were the only people in Anchorage that had the AC blasting in the hotel.
It was on 65.
That's a good gracious, man. This is crazy.
I've slept so wonderful. The best sleep is cold sleep.
If you can get to sleep.
So y'all, that was our trip. We enjoyed ourselves. We had an awesome time. Once we left Anchorage, we did head to Virginia to see family and friends, and so that was a great time as well. And we are back in Ecuador, where it's now cool here, which is crazy. I'm colder here than I was in Anchorage.
Yeah, season changed. Like we got back, we're like, oh man, what is going on?
Yeah, pull out a sweater.
Like a 10-degree difference.
But it would, all in all, it was great. We had a wonderful time. Can't wait for our next adventure.
So just real quick, next place we're planning to go that we've already planned to go is Sao Paulo, Brazil, for a short little trip, and the closer that gets, the more we'll talk about it.
That's right. See, Julie agree. The best sleep is cold sleep.
I mean, I agree as long as you can get to sleep. You got to get to sleep first.
No, that helps you go to sleep.
Okay, tell that to somebody on Everest that fell asleep in the snow. They wasn't getting good sleep.
You take it too far, but anyway.
But yeah, Sao Paulo, Brazil. We'll talk about that the closer we get to it. We also have another trip that we want to do in between there, and that'll be like a little surprise. So we're trying to see some new things, do things we haven't done in a while. We're trying to take advantage of our new visas and not leave the country too often. So you'll see us around here a lot more often, and like we said at the beginning, we got some new merch. If you want to check it out, tote bag. Oh, you didn't bring the tote bag.
No.
But
we have a new tumbler.
Yep,
if you like to have
mugs.
tea in it. Oh, where is
Closer.
it? This is terrible. Okay, if you want some tea, this is terrible. You want all that? Okay, there you go. It shouldn't be that close.
Yeah, tea, coffee, and an adult beverage.
If
whatever
you
want.
to.
Whatever you want. But yeah, we got a lot planned, y'all. We got a lot planned. So the next couple weeks, there's going to be like at least 3 videos coming out.
Yeah. Of the trip to see our adventures.
Yeah, we're working on something special with some other folks. That should be really fun when we get there. So you're going to get to see a lot coming up. And hope you enjoyed us sitting here just
chit-chatting with you.
Ourselves,
and thank you for joining us.
Trust me, y'all, we don't hate each other. We don't hate each other. We just argue.
I don't know where they're coming from.
We just argue.
Do you?
We love each other.
Do you hate me?
Nope.
Sound like it. Whatever.
Nope.
Okay. But thank you all for joining us. We had a ball. Thank you for your questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. From Ecuador to damn near Arctic.
And I loved every moment of it.
I can't do it.
I walked around just like this.
I need a jacket.
It was beautiful.
Well, anyway, we'll be back soon. Check Sunday. Our first video from the trip debuts Sunday evening. I want to say around like 5 or something. So please check that out. Like, share, subscribe,
and share your favorite koozie. What is it?
If you got a koozie, let me know what your favorite one is. Me and Small Bunyan, we're joined at the hip.
Small bunny took my place, y'all.
That's right.
All right.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.